2414 is a podcast about finding hope and common ground through casual conversation. Like the friends on the road in the New Testament, in Luke chapter 24, verse 14, we want to walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. Thanks for walking with us.
It's the most busiest time of the year.
All right. Way to go, Shane.
Yeah.
You did it. This is a special episode, which is just a normal episode of 2414. I'm Dan, that's Shane. We are recording this 1 week before Christmas Day itself, 6 days before Christmas Eve. We had a service last night. We had a funeral earlier today. And
got 2 rehearsals tonight.
Multiple things coming.
Yeah.
And we said, you know what? They've been clamoring from the people. We need to put out an episode. So here we are. We're going to pick up our conversation from last time where we were looking at Shane's studying and testing and being qualified to be a rostered and colloquized church worker. So we're going to pick up some theology conversation from his Q&A. We're going to have some highs and lows. We're going to play a round of Outburst. And we'll see how many Christmas lyrics we can layer into the song. Comment below how many you found throughout the episode.
Just quoting.
Just drop them in. Just, the subtler, the better.
All right.
So Shane,
I'm already processing.
That's great. Why don't you, can we do our highs and lows a little bit differently?
Yeah.
I'd like to mix it up a little bit.
If you explain what you mean by different.
So you have a choice. One choice is to think historic, like Charles Dickens here, The Ghost of Christmas Past. You can think about the past, like way back. Or you can think about the Ghost of Christmas Future. I want to hear some highs and lows, either of Christmases past or anticipating in the future, maybe next week. Are there things that you're like, this is going to be hard or good? Or when I was 4 or 19.
And
so highs and lows of Christmas.
Highs and lows.
Either Christmas is past or Christmas is future.
Okay. I feel
put you on the spot. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
All right.
Okay. One time you got a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Yeah, that was
2
sad.
front teeth.
Couldn't survive the Midwest climate, so froze to death. No, I feel like it's easier to say something in regards to the past
usually
because I don't know what my highs and lows of the future are.
I've got some ideas.
The one time somebody bought me a Bentley was a great Christmas. Not yet, but
big year.
It's gonna happen.
Okay.
I'd say I think low for Christmas. Let's say low for Christmas in the past is I don't think there was a very standardized Christmas because you have a mom's side of the family and dad's side of the family and relatives spread across the U.S. So Christmases were often different because we might have been traveling that year to this person's house with this family and then the other year the other opposite. But if there was a common, the most common of them, I'd say it was spending time with my Aunt Candy's house. She lived about 30 minutes from us, and they had a nice big house, massive basement that could fit all of my mom's side of the family in it. And we'd always do youngest to oldest, open a present first. So literally one at a time. The youngest person would open a gift, then the second youngest, and then the third, until all the way you got to grandpa, who's ever oldest, and then you restart.
Wow!
Until
is that a high or a low?
So it's a high.
Okay, that sounds like a long day.
Yeah, but you're as a kid.
Okay,
it doesn't matter for kids. You're not in charge of anything. You're just enjoying your gifts and your cousins and stuff. I say the low of that is I remember that almost that year when that shift because obviously everything will come to an end. Families grow up and then those little family cousins now have kids of their own and they're spending it with their now aunt and uncles, my cousins, and that shift was very much happening when nephews and nieces were starting to join, and they that my aunt's basement Christmas party extravaganza thing. And I'd say that was just a low, because like I remember a Christmas happened where like all my family and my niece nephews were together at my mom and dad's old house, and we were there together, and it was awesome. Like we were family together, and it was full. Like it still felt full as our just immediate family. And I remember like talking with my siblings, like, yeah, like I think this is our new Christmas now. Like we're not doing the big family Christmas anymore.
Yeah.
That's kind of phased out, because we have our own families now.
Yeah.
Not that we don't love each other anymore, but it's just that this is kind of the new focus.
Yeah.
And I remember like, it was just, I was like, happy it happened, but sad it's like, that's the reality of like, we're growing up and we're moving away and all this other stuff. So
are you the farthest one out?
I'm
geographically.
Oh yeah. Geographically. I've got a cousin in Las Vegas. So we're kind of, I have a brother in Grand Junction. So
where's Grand Junction?
West, the farthest west, Colorado.
Okay.
So kind of.
Sorry
Utah.
if I should know that. Sorry, Grand Junction.
No, it's a small big city, if that makes sense. So yeah, but we're kind of it on the West Coast, but I'm kind of the only one actually on the West Coast.
Yeah. And
that's it. So
okay.
We're all spread out and everyone's in their own places. So that was sad. Looking back to that, I would say the high, to add the future element to that, in the same vein, Christmas has always looked different from kind of that point on, because my whole family lives in the four corners of the map. And so we're just all spread across to the four winds, and sometimes we're all together and most of the time we're not. And so I'm looking forward to Christmases now as like a new growing family. Like this could be Lucia's first Christmas. She's not going to remember it or anything.
Do you have an ornament, baby's first Christmas, or
we do
bib or anything? Okay.
We do. It's funny, like buying, it shipped in the mail, and we were like looking at the box for it, and like Lucia was right there. Like she's gonna open this, but she doesn't know what this is. But she's gonna look back at it, and
cool.
she'll remember. So I'm just looking forward to that growing, like in that same like sadness of like things are shifting and changing, and family dynamics and Christmas traditions. I'm looking forward to the future of it, because it's gonna look different, but I'm excited to shape that for my own family.
Yeah, very Ecclesiastes. There's a time for everything under the sun, a time for this, a time for that.
Mm-hmm. I was going to quote that later in the episode.
Oh,
actually.
sorry.
No, but it's a good it's foreshadowing.
Wow. Okay, didn't know that was coming.
Yeah. No, I've been listening to a lot of 1517 podcasts.
Okay.
I'm going through Ecclesiastes.
Okay.
So it's been very fun, very depressing, very, very fun.
Yeah, it was a bleak and dreary. Came up on a midnight clear. I don't know.
Fun a midnight clear. But yeah, so yeah, the highs and lows are the, I'd say are the opposites in that. All right, this is just another tangent. I'm so sorry.
I asked the question.
I know. There's this weird art exhibit that exists if you're driving to South Dakota from Wisconsin. I don't remember the interstate it is, but you just see this massive bull head sculpture.
Does 90 go all the way? I don't know.
It might be 90, but you can't miss it driving on the interstate. You're like, what the heck? There's these sculptures just in the middle of the field.
Okay.
You can pull off and visit. It's just somebody's personal art exhibit. It just takes like sheet metal and other recycled things and makes art. But one of them is this hand with a thorn in it and a butterfly. Like, I think it's a thorn in the palm and a butterfly on the tip of the finger. And it's the like duality of like pain and joy. And that the actual meaning of this sculpture is that the pain is when the butterfly leaves you, but the joy is when that thorn is released from your skin. So my high and low kind of feels like that.
Okay.
That lamenting over the changing of traditions, and it's good that it happened, but that butterfly is flying away. But I'm happy now. I don't know if the thorn analogy still works for this, but but I'm happy now that are my new. I'm gonna have a new family traditions, and I'm making that and shaping that.
Okay,
yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of what came to mind.
All right.
And on the fly cusp, highs and lows of the ghost of Christmas past and the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
I could throw it back to you.
How about some Christmas lows
Of the past.
We'll do one of the past
All right.
and one past of the future.
What?
So one Christmas low of the past, I forgot what year it was. Maybe it was, I think we were talking about this the other day. It might have been 2020 or 21. Whenever we had a snowstorm on Christmas morning. That was, I think, maybe the only time I've ever been stuck driving. So we live in a hilly part of the region, and
you live on the top of the hill.
I got most of the way home. So those of you who live in the area, not Hoyt Road, 340. I don't know. The roads change names over by like Walgreens, whatever that. Up by the center at North Point. By the center at North Point, I didn't get all the way to the center at North Point. I was going up a hill.
Oh, you weren't even close.
No, yeah. This is a big hill.
Yeah.
And I already made it through some hills to get there, and I had it, but the person in front of me got nervous, and then they slowed down for no reason.
Yeah.
And then I lost all my momentum and then just started going backwards down the hill.
Yeah. If you lost it and there's no getting back.
Yeah. So I had it. I was in super low gear, just chugging away, safe the whole way home. And somebody else got nervous and then for whatever reason, that was the day where we carpooled to Christmas. We took 2 different cars. So I had like all the kids and my mother-in-law. And it was
sounds stressful.
It was not good. It was not good.
Jan, why aren't you going? Go.
Yeah. So I had the kids and my mother-in-law, and we're on the side of the road and we're trying to push, and it's Christmas morning.
I don't think I ever heard the end of this story.
No, and we gave it a few goes, like this isn't going to happen. So thankfully somebody else saw us. A stranger pulled over and helped push us and get us going, and we were able to get out of it.
You make it home then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. But that was not a fun moment. So for all kinds
Christmas
of reasons.
low light. Yeah.
So as related to my low of the past into the future is partly I'm getting older, although I feel like I've got energy. Not that old. My Garmin, by the way, my watch and connected app, it tracks my heart rate and sleep and fitness. And my Garmin age is I'm in the top like 6 or 2% or something of my age, and it says my fitness age. Let me pull this up here.
Okay,
it says I have the fitness, I think, of a 20-year-old.
What?
So. For whatever that's worth, Garmin thinks I'm crushing it.
Do you feel like you're 20?
No, not at all. Yeah, so my Garmin, my fitness age is 20. So I'm dominating.
I saw the big number on top.
No,
I'm like, there's no way.
That's my VO2 max. My VO2 max is in the top 10% for my age and gender, and my fitness age is 20. All right. But that being said, I'm getting older and sleep matters more.
Yeah.
And here at St. Luke's, we have an 11 p.m. service that goes till after midnight. And then we're shaking hands and scraping wax and picking stuff up and locking doors.
Yeah.
And then we have a Christmas Day service that starts at 10 a.m. So I'm, here by at the latest 9. Normally I get here a few hours before church, but that one it's like 8:30 maybe.
We're not overly prepared.
And so, I do a lot of reading and thinking on being at our best and health and brain stuff, and you need 8 hours of sleep, and obviously you can get away with less, but
you can make up.
We're leaving the church, and it's like, church starts in 8 hours, and then I remember this from as a kid as well. Like, you get off work, and it's hard. You can't just go to sleep.
You're not. Yeah, it's so hard to just fall asleep when also after a massive day. It's not. You don't have time to
There's a joy
process
of Christmas. Yeah, you experience a lot, like emotions and seeing people, good and bad, and all kinds of stuff. And I'm probably drinking coffee later than I need to, but I need to soldier through this 11 o'clock service. Yeah. And so then I get home. It's hard to fall asleep. So I'm not falling asleep till 2:30, and then I am out. The kids wake me up, and we do stockings before church, and I'm just staring.
So you're up at 7 or 8.
Yeah, so we're doing stockings, and then we have church, which is great, and then we go home, and we don't get home till 11:30, close to noon. So then we have to eat before we can do presents. But at that point, I'm just total zombie. Like I'm not functioning, and then I'm not at my best for the kids. Like, hey, it's Christmas, let's celebrate each other. I'm like, I'm just shot.
Yeah.
And so like, we can't do it earlier on Christmas Eve because we're here all day, and I could do it we could have Christmas on the 26th, but that's super lame for the kids. So like, I don't know. And
is this supposed to be a high? What is this?
no, this is my low. This is my low of the future. So
you have a low of both.
Yeah. So my low of the past was our snowstorm, but my other low is my recurring low of I'm so tired at Christmas. I'm so tired, and I give my kids the worst, and yet that's what it is.
Yeah.
So one high then is they're super gracious about it. Like they go with it. They understand. They're kind. They're patient. We don't open Christmas presents until sometimes 1 or 2 o'clock on Christmas Day, and they're troopers about it. Another high from the past, besides getting stuck on the side of the road, just I love when there is snow. It's beautiful. And a childhood Christmas celebration. My mom's parents, so my maternal grandparents, they lived in St. Louis. My grandma's still alive, lives in St. Louis. And they moved something like 35 times within like one aspect of St. Louis just because they like to move.
That's a weird thing to
It
enjoy.
wasn't like flipping houses for cash. I'm like, oh, that's a cute house. We should see. And then they move there. And then they fix it up, and then they get bored, and then they move somewhere else.
Moving was the...
It's the worst.
Yeah, it was
the worst.
That was so much work.
But my grandparents just loved it. They loved it so much. And so they bought a house on, I forgot the street, and they always put their little touches on it. Grandpa would put up a little white picket fence. He painted nice, a certain color blue, like their shade of blue, and it was their house. So we had Christmas there one year. And then they moved to like some other neighborhood. And then they moved back next door to the house they used to live at.
That's wild. Yeah.
And it's like the exact same house just next door, but they didn't have that one all fixed up yet. And so the whole family goes to Christmas, and we all went to the wrong house because they used to live there. And they had the white picket fence, Grandpa's shade of blue. And so we're all ringing the doorbell, and they're like, it's next door. Like, oh, you're right. Sorry.
You're at the wrong house for Christmas.
Yeah. So, because all the cars are out in the street, like the whole street's full of cars. And like you got your arms full and you're carrying stuff. And like, well, there's their house.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be a year ago, and now they live next door. And so we all rang the wrong doorbell.
That's amazing.
Sorry.
Want to join us?
Yeah. So those are some Christmas lows and highs.
Lows and highs. Oof.
Okay.
That's fun. Ghost of Christmas past and future.
There it is.
There it is.
We've got one round of outbursts before we do our heavy lifting from your theological question from last time.
The deepest of deep.
Which is kind of grim, but it also, we need the bad news before we get to the good news sometimes.
We do. Yeah.
So outburst, Shane.
Outburst.
How are we going to play? How are we
going to play? We're going to receive a prompt. Normally a phrase, a word, a noun, or maybe a verb. I don't know. It could be anything.
It could be an ethnicity.
We don't know what it could be.
They're quite wild.
Yeah, this game is from the 80s, so some of this did not age well. But after that prompt, it's kind of Family Feud style, where we got to guess the 10 things associated with that prompt theme, whatever it might be. These aren't our... We did not come up with the answers to this. They were just some random prompt that somebody decided a long time ago. And so we're just going to be spitting out verbal explosions. So you can play along with us. Just say, obviously, this is one of the things you should say. So
I think we should do the red and green timer, kind of Christmas spirit. And
that's fun.
We'll go to whichever one is last.
Yeah, I think if you keep in the white one.
You're going to do all tthree?
Yeah, let's do all three.
The white one looks twice as long as the others.
Yeah, that's why we need it.
All right, that's a good idea. So we're just gonna do one round today. I'm gonna read the category. Shane's gonna flip over 3 timers, and
or we could do consecutive. timers.
No, that would be painful for all of us.
That would.
Before I even read the category, how are you feeling? Confidence level?
Not. I feel we've had just the worst experiences of outburst recently.
You'd think for as much as we play this, we'd be decent at it.
You can't prepare everything.
No, you can't. Okay, here we go.
1960s Dodgers players.
Let me read it once, then I'll read it again. You can flip over. The category is American holidays.
Oh my.
The category is American holidays. Go.
All right.
4th of July.
Christmas.
Easter.
Labor Day.
Ooh, Thanksgiving. We should do
Memorial
it in order.
Day.
Groundhog's Day.
Valentine's
May Day.
Day.
Flag Day. President's Day.
Veterans Day.
Memorial. Do you say that one? Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Columbus Day.
Ooh, Indigenous Peoples Day was not called in the 80s.
Yeah, it was not.
Christmas, Easter,
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving.
We said Easter.
We said Groundhog's
Just say
Day.
Holy Week and everything
That's not a
associated
holiday.
with it. It's not, but I'm going to say it.
Ash Wednesday, Mardi Gras,
Ooh, Fat Tuesday.
New Year's Day,
Nice, nice.
Boxing Day.
Halloween.
Ooh, good one.
Arbor Day.
Ooh, Earth Day. No, these were in
Earth
the 80s.
Day?
They didn't have them in the 80s.
Yeah.
President's Day, Martin Luther King Jr.
Just going to
Day.
say Hanukkah. Why not?
Hanukkah, good. Kwanzaa. Other holidays. Easter, Good Friday.
You said President's Day.
Oh, and time.
You said Groundhog's Day, right?
Yeah.
I think I heard you.
That was
say
one of the first ones that said April 2nd. I'm all about Groundhog's Day. Big observer. You know what we didn't say? St. Patrick's Day. I bet that's on there.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
What else did we forget, Shane?
We didn't get St. Patrick's Day. I bet
Our listeners
I bet
are shouting
first
right
day
now.
of spring is going to be on there.
Solstice kind of
Solstice,
thing.
yeah.
And our listeners right now are like, what about? Like, well, you'd be right. Okay, how do we do, Shane?
Probably were right. God, I want
Eight? We got 8.
I want to feel like we get 8, but
Yeah.
I'm always surprised how dumb these answers
Okay.
are. So I'll say 5.
Oh, Shane.
It's going to be like Pencil Day. Like
Oh, I know we forgot St. Patrick's. That's going to be on there.
we got the heavy hitters.
We got the big ones. Okay, number 1, Christmas.
Yeah.
1 for 1. I gotta
Let's
keep it down. Let's
go.
go. Number 2,
Best
New Year's
start.
Day.
We
said
said
that.
New Year's.
Number 3, Veterans Day.
I said Veterans Day.
Number 4, Memorial Day.
I said Memorial's Day.
Oh, number 5. Okay. Lincoln's birthday.
That's President's Day.
That's why I was. But the next one is Washington's birthday. Is that also President's Day?
It's the same day. Is it not?
I think it is.
How? This is why I hate this game. What is this?
Before they were lumped
Can
together.
I Google this?
Yeah. So
I have to like.
Lincoln's number 5 was Lincoln's birthday. Number 6 was Washington's birthday. Okay. Well, it's
Washington's birthday.
they're just observed together on President's Day.
Washington's birthday, February 22nd. Lincoln's birthday, February 12th, are honored on the third Monday in February. So there are two different days that they turned into.
It's like a hybrid holiday.
Did you celebrate Lincoln's birthday?
No, that was not a holiday when I was growing up.
That was 2. Can you?
was 2 of them.
I can't get over that.
So here we go. Number
Oh my
7,
goodness.
Independence Day in parentheses 4th of July.
All right,
We got that.
We did that.
Labor Day,
I said Labor Day.
Thanksgiving Day,
I said Thanksgiving, right?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Wow.
8 out of 10.
You got it. We got 8.
We got 8, and the 2 that we got them too.
Technically divided in half.
So whether we want to say 8 or we want to say 9, we got them all. This
Yeah.
and St. Patrick's Day wasn't even on there. I thought for sure it would be.
I did not lose sleep over that.
Nor was Groundhog's Day.
They're not holidays. American I don't know.
Groundhog's Day is as American holiday as it gets.
Yeah, that is.
It's like apple pie.
American is apple pie and Independence Day.
Christmas was number 1, by the way,
As it should have been.
as it should.
No,
have been.
Easter. It's not a holiday though. So
It's not a holiday. What does that mean? It's
American
not a
holiday. I don't know.
Neither is Christmas if Easter is.
But like, there's recognized like national holidays.
Yeah, Easter. Well, it's
Easter's
always
not-
on a Sunday, I guess. Is that? It's not like a federal holiday because
Like federal, yeah, like federal holidays.
it's always on a
essentially.
Sunday.
Christmas is like a recognized. Like Thanksgiving is.
You're right. I don't think Easter observed is like that Monday or anything.
No,
Okay.
like I don't know. The Congress isn't taking off.
You know what?
Or I don't know.
You know what I learned very recently, which should be known to almost everybody, is because we on Christmas Eve, it's just a marathon of a day.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until just a couple years ago that most people don't have off Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve or Christmas is typically a holiday.
You're the only one who's told me that because I don't have time to talk to people on Christmas Eve either. So like,
because I remember we were thinking about like what what's the ideal time schedule for our services? Like 5,
Yeah.
7, 11. Like, we should do like 11 in the morning. That would be awesome. And then it was like, no, everybody's at work.
Yeah, people work, and if they are working, maybe it's a half day. Like,
Yeah. Although I have heard from many people who work that like not a whole lot of work is getting done on Christmas Eve.
can't expect
They're just
anyone to-
scrolling.
unless you're like a hospital worker. Like, I don't think you're.
And even then, they're wearing silly hats and jingling bells. I don't think they're focusing.
The ER is focusing.
It's one of the busiest days, right? It's like the 4th of July in here.
Probably is. It's probably.
Yeah, shout out to our ER workers,
Woo.
the real heroes.
Yeah.
Shane, I don't know
we
what to
did
make
it.
of our score. We at the worst, we got 8 out of 10.
That's as good enough as a win. And the two that we didn't get, we
got. What a weird. That's so unresolved.
I never would have said. I guess
Lincoln's birthday.
I guess I could have jokingly said, yeah, Washington and Lincoln's birthday, and that would have been it.
You could have.
But
What a missed opportunity.
weird. I also learned that their birthdays are not on the same day. I've been lied to.
Observed on the same day.
Observed on the same day. That's crazy to me.
What a world.
What a
What a world.
When was the last President's Day you celebrated?
When is the last president I celebrated? Oh, President's Day.
Lincoln? I don't know.
All right, that's an off-air conversation. All right, here we are, sitting down to record. We've connected some highs and lows. We've had some shenanigans. Our topic for the day, so to speak, which is okay to have a topic, a conversation topic. Not every conversation has to be purely organic and just see where it goes. So we're picking up with what we said last time we would talk about. And that's okay.
We left with a question, and I hope you guys did your homework. If not, I can ask I'll say the question. You can pause the video, process for a few hours, days, write a small paper, turn it in, and we'll see how you did. No, but it's for you to ponder with. We had kind of asked these questions not to that you would have a definitive answer and say, obviously, this is the Christian faith. It's so simple.
And I don't like how these questions are phrased, by the way. I'm going to rephrase them later.
Yeah.
Not a surprise to anybody who's ever listened to us before, but I've got particularities.
You're definitely a particular person. But these questions are just to get the prompt, to get the ball rolling in your head, because people can often just come to church and go through the motions and just be very nonchalant in that I believe in God. Great. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to the Christian faith. And so we want to process that, go through that with you. So the question we left with, I kind of broke it down into two ways, like a more complex way and a simple way. I'll read it verbatim first, in the complex manner, and then I'll simplify it if it's still confusing. The question was, what is the biblical doctrine of original sin? What do we inherit? And the follow-up question to that is, how does God deal with humankind's inherited guilt? How I kind of simplifying it, if that's just too gibberish and Greek to you, is what is sin? What is sin, and why is sin? And what does God do about it? So that's kind of the simplified manner. So I hope you process it. I hope you talk to somebody about it. Certainly, it could be a dinner type conversation. I don't know. There's a whole slew of places you can have conversations, but to at least for you to consider. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that,
and maybe a less. I mean, obviously we're.
So yeah, how would you rephrase?
So we're Christian and spiritual and read the Bible, and that's good. That's who we are. So I'm not trying to avoid the spirituality part of it. But I think another maybe neutral way of asking it is to sort of say, so what's the problem? Mm-hmm. Is the world perfect? Are people perfect? Is everything as it should be? Mm-hmm. And I think most people would probably say no. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's the problem? Mm-hmm. And that prompt kind of gets us to the same spot, maybe from a neutral point of view, and then into that we'll wrestle with kind of the Christian perspective.
Yeah. That question kind of brings different answers to me, like in my thought process. But I guess it all leads to the same answer, if that makes sense.
What do you mean when you say it gets to it differently for you?
So yeah, like what's the problem? I'm trying to imagine the question like as
there's
if
a variety of answers to that.
yeah, and I'm trying to imagine it in like a just very like secular way, just like all right, like assuming I don't know anything about like religion and I'm just very earthly, like what's the problem? Like, well, people suck. Death is
a problem.
That's probably like the worst thing.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, there's there's uncertainty, like things are meaningless. It's just like, this is how kind of like
it's dark. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean like, Ecclesiastes, like it's just very much like, okay, this is what all humanity like has gone through. These are things you can expect. Like Solomon is just kind of bringing up different points of like, okay, all right, if this isn't the meaning, like maybe we can find joy in this. Well, actually, you know what? That's in vain too. Yeah, it really doesn't matter either. Nothing really matters. Nothing like everything under the sun. Yeah, it's all just in vain. Like we're just going through the motions, and the same as everyone in history ever has. I don't want to leave you listener with that.
Well, that's a wrap for today, friends. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, there's a beautiful endpoint to that. But starting there, it's just like it's all in vain and just meaningless. There's death, there's pain, people suck. Yeah. So that's where my very like surface secular unreligious brain would be at.
Right. So there's that famous line, to err is human, to forgive is divine. So like to make mistakes is human. I can kind of give a nuanced yes and no to that, I suppose. But you said people suck, and that's kind of a big part of the problem, I think.
Yeah.
And so when you say people, I mean, so like, you're talking about me?
Yes and no.
It's easier to see it in other people.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like in the same mentality and like continuing on, I would see it as the like, all right, like let's look at the things that aren't great in this world, or the things that irritate me and that make me mad. Did a human cause it? Probably.
Lots of it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's humans are the problem, or whatever it might be.
But even there, like to push further or peel back a layer, some people seem worse than others.
Yeah.
And what is it like when we say worse or bad? You know, are there certain vices that are the root of this? Is it all come down to like, is it hate? Is it lack of love? Is it selfishness? Is it greed? Maybe it's all of these things, or are these actual problems, or are these just descriptions and they're not? I mean, are they neutral?
Are these just annoyances? Like, is it? Is it?
Not trying to be abstract, but just sort of explore a little bit.
To explore that of like, there could be some good people.
And I think, what do we mean by good or bad?
Yeah, what makes a good person? What makes a flawless person? Is there a human that like actually is doing everything right? Like, no, this person is benefiting humanity in every way.
So you made a jump there from doing everything right, and then you gave the criteria of benefiting humanity in every way.
Is that what's good? Like, are you just helping other people?
Yeah. It sort of begs the question of like, what is good? What is right?
Yeah.
Do I decide? Do we vote?
Yeah. What is good? Is helping someone good, or is it if you take care of yourself so well that it doesn't bother anyone else?
Yeah. You're not a drain on anybody else. So like, you've achieved self-sufficiency. That's the best good I can hope for from you. Like, you're out of my way.
Yeah.
Like, you're a good neighbor when I don't have to deal with you.
Yeah. Which I think some people would say that, like, my favorite neighbor is the one who's not blaring music at
for sure
11 p.m.
I live by a drummer, and I do not get along with this drummer. Oh, that's another story for another day.
See, yeah, I was not good human. There you go. Don't play drums. That's
So there are lots of ways we could address it. I think most people would agree something's wrong. Now, if nature is all there is, the ultimate wrong is like scarcity of resources, and whoever like survives and makes the most babies wins. Mm-hmm. And you are good if your genes have put you in a position to duplicate your genes more. Mm-hmm. That's the only good.
Yeah. Is it purely on a physical achievement?
Yeah. And the only failing is if you fail to reproduce your genetic code. Mm-hmm. So that's bad, is to fail to produce.
Genetic code sucks.
Yeah,
If it's not good.
If you got a bad batch and there's a defect in you or a lack of aptitude, that's not good. And what is good is to make more babies. So that's certainly kind of a textbook answer.
Yeah. It's a wet noodle to the board of ideas, I guess.
And if nature is all there is, that's kind of the only answer.
And I would even say nature isn't great a lot of times.
It's a mad world.
We're
having flooding right now.
Yeah, we're having flooding right now. Grizzly bears eat people. Like that's not good.
Really? Do you think grizzly bears are still getting a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely happens.
I bet there's less than a dozen people a year get killed by a grizzly bear.
All right. Well,
we should look that up later.
I know hippopotamuses are
I bet they don't
crazy
eat them
deadlift.
either. I bet they just maul them.
You talk about hippos. Hippos, I think, kill more people than grizzly bears.
That's probably true.
Yeah. But they're still, animals are just beating up people because they're the alpha males sometimes.
So one answer is it's all meaningless, and the only good or bad is making more of your genetic code. Another, more popular answer is like we vote. We decide whatever the most people think is good or bad. We'll go with that.
Through local, federal politics, we decide on,
or just force,
or for just by sheer authority.
Yeah.
This is what is right.
Oh, by the way, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, Shane.
Probably.
So, speed bumps. I've got lots of thoughts about speed bumps.
Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily mind them.
Yeah.
Some of them are aggressive. It's just like a curb in the middle of the road.
There's no uniformity in speed bumps.
But I've thought a lot about speed bumps.
Okay.
And the entire reason for speed bumps is because people can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Like, it's just force.
Somebody ruined it for the rest
of... It is brute force to say the citizens of this place are unreliable and they will murder children unless we physically slow them down in the street. Signs, speed limits, the good of neighbor, none of these things matter. All we have to resort to is physics and force to compel human decency. Like,
I don't know if you have brought that up.
Okay.
Because
there's one of our friends in their neighborhood, they added a whole bunch of speed bumps last year and whatever. But like, the reason is your question. Like, there's a fundamental brokenness that we cannot and should not assume people are going to be good. And speed bumps are a physical restraint on humanity just to curb our wickedness and self-centeredness.
Yeah.
Like, every time you go over a speed bump, it's because we don't trust each other.
We don't trust each other.
And
it's
for a reason.
Natural inclination to not obey the law.
So, speed bumps. All right, Shane, let's get to our kind of how would you as a Christian, whether you're going to sound like a textbook theologian or you're just talking with your friend here, what does it say? Original sin, hereditary sin? What was the question?
Yeah. What is the biblical doctrine of original sin? What do we inherit?
Yeah. So how do we think about this?
Yeah. So the question starts by saying biblical doctrine of original sin, and I appreciate that because I think, like I said, I have a simple answer of what is sin, and then this one is like biblical doctrine of original sin. So I think that's an important first piece of the question because I'm gonna trace it back to using the Bible in our Lutheran belief. The Bible kind of holds authority into what we say and do and believe, and the Bible kind of points out, hey, at the beginning, God created something that was good and was perfect, and it was the way God designed it to flow in harmony, and that man and humankind would enjoy the fruits of this creation, and it was beautiful. And then humanity, well, more so temptation, the devil.
And we got some questions in here that for me are unresolved, open. I don't know.
It was so long ago. Moses could have written a little more detail in some of these parts. I don't know. The author could have maybe expanded upon a bit more, but this is what we've got. And the devil, Satan, disguised himself as a serpent to tempt man to say, "Hey, do you want to know, like, actually kind of be like God and know the other side that like isn't good?" Yeah, mankind was like, I say mankind, Adam and Eve. We're like, yeah, I think I'm curious. I mean, curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity killed everyone, I guess. In this instance, Adam and Eve, they bit the fruit. They allowed one another to succumb to their pursuit of this knowledge that God had of sin and evil and inevitably death. And they fell into that, and that guilt, shame, sin, whatever you want to call it, started there, and it's been passed down generation, and that's the inherited part of this guilt, inherited sin. Original sin kind of implies that, like, the original sin when Adam and Eve fell, or when they sinned, essentially, and that's the same sin back then. It's the same sin now. It's carried over. It's this flawed brokenness in the world that's lingered over through generations.
Yeah, so we've got original in the sense of first, the original, and even there you could probably parse it down to say, even before they ate of the forbidden fruit, when their hearts doubted God's goodness and God's word, when they had the desire to be like God, the deed was done at that point.
Imagine that's part of the like questions of like, did they sin when they listened to the devil? Did they sin when they ate the fruit? Did they sin when Adam allowed Eve to eat?
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Like
that's one of those open-ended ones for me. Yeah. But so original in the sense of first, but then as if you ever heard the phrase, the like doctrine of original sin, what that probably more typically means as a like a narrow definition is the sin of our own origins. So it's not so much about the first sin of Adam and Eve and more about the condition that defines every human's origin ever since. So inherited sin, I think, is probably a more helpful phrase in our context today than original sin, because inherited sin is describing the fact that we are born with a condition, like a pre-existing condition, in the same way that like a child whose mom may have been addicted to a certain substance is born with that addiction, and like, well, that's not fair. The kid didn't do anything. Yep. Okay. Sorry. And yet the kid is born with that condition. Your family might be predisposed to a heart disease, and before you were even born, you were bent towards this, and it might not feel fair, but that's just reality. So every single one of us is born with a whole lot of conditions and restraints in our life, or opportunities. So somebody born,
to an affluent family in Beverly Hills.
If both of your parents went to college, you are probably have different opportunities than if neither of your parents went to college. It doesn't mean they're bad or better, or you're bad or better. Like, it's just you're born with a condition, every single one of us. And the Bible teaches that because of that original rebellion of Adam and Eve, that is our inherited condition. We are born broken. Different theologians use different words to describe it. Sometimes concupiscence, fancy word there, busting that out.
Can you translate?
It's just sort of the lack of even ability to fear, love, and trust in God above all things. I'm not able to love God as He calls me to. I can't. It's a deficiency and a defect in me. And I like to think of original sin or inherited sin. Sometimes we talk about original sin and actual sin. To me, it's the distinction between like an underlying disease and the symptoms.
Yeah.
So remember COVID?
Remember COVID. It's like, that's a quote. That's a quote.
So some people got COVID and died. Like for real. Some people were on like ventilators for a long time. Some people lost the ability to taste or smell.
Yep. Some people still can't breathe normally.
Some people have chronic fatigue and pain. And some people were just like fine. And like you wouldn't have known it except you tested, and you have it. It just doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
The fancy word is asymptomatic. So I don't see any symptoms, but you have it.
Yeah.
So to me, like I'm just lecturing, but like that's sin. We all got it. Some people show the symptom of anger, and other people seem really nice. Other people show the symptom of lust or greed or bigotry or prejudice or murder. And yet, what makes me sinful is not that I did a sin. I did the sin because I am already sinful. I have a condition that manifests itself and shows itself in different symptoms. And my symptoms and your symptoms might look different. And I might be managing my symptoms on the surface better than you.
Yeah.
But I'm just as sick.
Yeah. Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah.
So actual sin, definitely like learn that as like the symptoms of sin, but I also attribute it as well to like breaking the law, because that is our sinful nature. Like God had to put these guardrails up for us, but did kind of when God gave the law to Moses, was that God just like putting the guardrails up? Like, no, this is what it should have been.
That's a good question.
Yeah, like
Really
in the garden, this is what was assumed that everyone would be like. So God had to say, "Hey, just don't do these things."
So let me say something else and back into that if I can.
Yeah.
So we usually think about sin as thou shalt not. And when you do a bad thing, that's sin. Don't lust, don't steal, don't murder, don't hate, don't covet. But the Bible, and we don't like this because this makes it even harder, it is equally sinful when we fail to do the good we ought to do. So the classical categories here are sins of commission and sins of omission. We commit a crime when we do something wrong, but it is a sin of omission when we omit or we fail to do the good that we ought to do. So we've got thought, word, and deed. So we sin. It's not just a sin when I do the bad thing. When I think the bad thing, that's a sin. Now here's where it gets crazy. It's not just a sin when I fail to do the good thing. Even not thinking of the good I ought to have done itself is a sin. Like, you should have been more thoughtful. It didn't even come to my mind. I know. That's the problem. You are broken to your core. You didn't even consider how you should love that person. So not only did you not love them, you didn't even think about it. And so you failed in thought, word, and deed by not doing something. So it's not just what you do or don't do.
Yeah.
So your question is very profound, and I don't have a super sharp answer.
That's part of the grayness.
So when we think about God's law, and I'm not a philosopher, by the way, so many people would be far better qualified for this conversation. But I think I do have something to say here. There's sort of you could think about a theological or philosophical question. Did God command and prohibit certain things because those things were inherently bad or good? Or does the fact that God commands or prohibits makes it good or bad? So what I mean is sometimes we try to find reasons for God's law, which in the end maybe is good and true, but it also might just be our way of trying to explain God away. That even if there wasn't a God, we kind of know this is what it should be. So we're almost replacing God, as opposed to that classic line of like, you say jump, I say how high. Like, it doesn't matter if I understand it or if it makes sense or if it feels good to me. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, so I think, most of God's laws actually make pretty good sense. Especially when we think about the 10 Commandments, the second table of the law as we relate to each other.
Yeah.
Most of those, I think most people would agree, life is better for everybody if we don't disobey authorities and parents, if we don't murder, if we're not sleeping around and stealing and gossiping and constantly coveting what we don't have. Like, if we respected people and took care of our neighbor and were content with our sexuality as God intends it to be, if we were thankful for our stuff, if we put the best construction on other people, if we were, just content, that's a better world.
I think humanity is pretty that they would already agree to those.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Now, the first 3 commandments, no other gods, don't misuse the name of the Lord your God, remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. I think it's a little harder to say, universal law says these are good.
Yeah, that's that.
As opposed to this is just God's holy will. It's what he wants. So that's what he wants.
Yeah. Like, what does that have to do with my life? Like, this is where it shifts focus to, all right, you got to believe that there's some higher power.
Now, I do think those are good, by the way. Those first 3, I think more and more research, like I said earlier, says you need rest. And you are secular scientists and neuroscientists are going to say your brain needs rest. Your body needs rest. So you should rest. So like in terms of Sabbath day and rest, I think that's being reinforced all the time.
Yeah. We've pushed the boundary too far. We're like, okay, maybe there was a point that.
Yeah. But as far as like having no other gods or not misusing God's name, is that a universal sort of human experience? I don't know.
Yeah.
But is it God's holy will? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I'm not, that's not exactly what you're asking, maybe, but
no. But
God's law is His holy will. This is how life, as He designed it, is supposed to go. Whether we like it or understand it, this is how it's supposed to work.
If God's word is quite literally everything, if God's word spoke and it became, creation was, and humanity and everything became from His word, that's a pretty powerful word. If His word says, don't do this, that's a pretty powerful word. I think we should listen to it. So whether the which came first, the chicken or the egg, like this of like the law of like, was that law always present? Did He have to put those guardrails up for these people because they just did not get it? Whatever it was, God said, like this is what God said, so just do or don't do. And I like that you said just do it, like, because we so often live in the don't. Yeah.
A sin is when you do a bad thing. Yeah, but I think most of us. Sometimes I go off the cuff here, Shane.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's great. So I like the phrase like a high functioning alcoholic. So there are people who struggle with an addiction, but they mask it well enough. They can have a job and hold down things,
and you never would know.
And you might not know, or that but like they're holding it together enough.
Yeah,
like that's kind of how we are with sin. Like we're kind of high functioning. We're managing it, and we think really as long as we don't, like, most people don't murder. Most people aren't embezzling millions of dollars. Now, less and less so some of the other commandments, maybe it's not as easy to say, like, most people aren't having affairs. I'm not sure if that's even true. Most people aren't watching pornography. That's probably not true.
Most people don't covet. Well,
that's the American dream. So so some of these we've just embraced.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, to say I think the universal
well, nobody here's murdered. That's not true.
Yeah. Well, like if Jesus said that, all right, if murdering is just hating your brother, then that's definitely not true. We can hate, just hate the people who are wrong.
Yeah. But why I love the do and don't aspect of this, because it's so easy to pick 2 or 3 sins that I'm not tempted by, and then to wash my hands of it. Look, I haven't murdered. I haven't had an affair. I'm not actively embezzling. I'm a good person. Okay, but are you lusting? Are you angry? Are you coveting? Have you gone out of your way to think about and pray and love and give and serve and show up sacrificially? Well, I mean, I haven't murdered or had an affair, though. So, I'm doing good. I'm not doing those 3 bad things. Yeah, but are you actively doing all the good things? And it's the same condition.
Yeah.
That leads us to do bad and keeps us from doing good.
Yeah.
All right, we got to give us some good news here, Shane.
Give us some good news.
This sounds really down.
Yeah, we had we kind of beat the dead horse. Maybe not enough. I don't know of sin. What it is. What is this? What did we inherit? By the way, what did we inherit? I would also say death.
The consequence of sin is death.
Yeah, the wages of sin. What sin leads to is death. We're inflicted with this illness called sin, and the outcome is death every time.
Yep.
So what does God do about it? How does God deal with humankind's inherited guilt? This is where I love where and when this episode lines up so much, because in 7 days we are celebrating Christmas.
This is our Christmas episode.
This is our Christmas episode. It might not feel like it because we're talking about all the terrible things in the world, but maybe you feel it. I definitely
joy to the world.
I feel it the most in Christmas during the Christmas season. Let me tell you that.
Far as the curse is found, Shane.
Far as the curse is found. Far as. There you go. All right, we got one. But yeah, Christmas. What was the answer? How does God deal with it? Before we were talking about Ecclesiastes. There's quite literally nothing new under the sun for ages and ages, ages. If you're looking at the Old Testament, just this BC time before Christ, it was the same thing over and over again. People just. In some ways, it didn't look any different than now. Than just people are just searching for answers, searching for meaning, searching for joy, something other than this eternal suffering that is just this life sometimes. And Solomon, Ecclesiastes is hey, there's nothing new under the sun. But beyond the sun, if you believe in this higher power, if you believe in God, there's something beyond this. Something new happened under the sun, in that what was beyond the sun, what was divine, came to earth. For once, something new happened.
In Royal David City.
Yeah, for once, something new happened in humanity. Yeah. That God was no longer kind of above, but God was with. And
he first revealed his sacred face. There's a line.
Yeah, God dwelt among man. God with us, man to dwell. This is what he did, and he came to earth, mankind. So God dealt with sin by dwelling with us. And it's not just that. He took on human form and became like us as. In humankind, to walk among us and to live this life, but obviously there's more that had to be fulfilled beyond it, and that's where we get at through Epiphany and through Lent and all the way culminating in Easter. That is ultimately how God dealt with sin, was on the cross. That is where it all led to.
Yeah, so this is great. I mean, we're talking about the Virgin Mary, of the Father's love begotten. Jesus comes, and he was conceived apart from kind of normal conception, and I think that's where we would say he's sort of skipped the line, where original sin we receive that, and it's not that sex is sinful, but when we kind of receive from our parents this condition, because Jesus is born of the Father's will miraculously through the Holy Spirit, he is born. He's the third person ever without original sin.
That's a really cool way to put it.
Yeah. So he shows up without sin, and lives perfectly and righteously, and then trades places with us, the sinless one, for the sinful, that we would have life in him.
And like using this is where I love what we're doing for Christmas Eve too, of just walking through the whole Old Testament, of like looking at the Passover, like, all right, like this is what the Israelites had to do. They had to take the most perfect, spotless lamb, sacrifice it on behalf of God for their sin. This is what they could do. It was costly, and in the same way, Jesus was the spotless lamb, kind of carrying over from that Passover all the way to his earthly life. He was sinless, spotless, and he took that upon himself.
So Shane, even if it's not a white Christmas that we're dreaming of, though our sins were as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. So
is that?
That's just Isaiah.
Oh, okay.
It's just the Bible.
Just the Bible.
But so we get a white Christmas no matter what. Like we're covered over and washed clean.
I think for Christmas for me, that's just the. I think I'm overly eager to celebrate Easter every Christmas because there's so much to celebrate that God took on human form like at this moment. But there's so much more journey like left. And I'm eager to okay, he's here, just like the rest of humanity at the time. Cool. Are you gonna bring to fulfillment now? Is this it? Oh, he's just a baby. Okay, we got some time. All right.
I just imagine Mary staring at him like, Joseph, I don't know. He pooped again. Is that what's supposed to happen?
Is this holy? What is it? Do we do something with this?
A few episodes ago, we talked about liturgy, and this just touches on the ordering our days around a calendar that's different than racing from Halloween to Black Friday to New Year's Eve to St. Patrick's Day. Okay, these are all fine things, but what if we order our days around anticipation and birth of Christ and the revelation of who Jesus is and walking with him to the cross and out of the grave, and then he sends his people out, and then his people have a long journey, and they start to wonder, how long, when will you come here, O Lord? And then we anticipate his coming, and that, God's people could do worse than ordering their days around that narrative.
Yeah.
So we do, by the way. That's kind of the church here. That's the liturgical calendar. We live in these both worlds at the same time, the world that we're in and the world that God has created that is, and we order our days differently. So, Shane, this is awesome. Thanks for ordering your time around this conversation today.
Yeah. I guess I'd love to have a sending question, but I don't know.
You can commit us. You can commit us to the future. Just do one of those. Do a little roulette on your page there. The fourth question on the second page. What is it?
I kind of want to do the fourth section, even though it has nothing to do with.
Okay. What can we be thinking about for next time?
Is it too ambitious to say free will?
Go for it. Yeah.
Do we have free will?
Free will.
Yeah.
What kind of free will do we have? What kind of free will don't we have?
What's our human will? What?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What do we do with that? Do you have free will? Talk about it. Think about it. I don't know. This is definitely a topic I'm not great at, but
free will.
This is why it's a good conversation, because talking about it is just good.
Free will in the new year, unless Jesus comes back first.
Yeah, because you're definitely not gonna. You're gonna think you feel your free will in the new year. This year I'm gonna be different.
Yeah, exactly. If you think you have free will, why don't you just have the perfect year next year?
Yeah,
just do it. Just do all the things you actually want to do, and then see how much of a slave you really are. Yeah. Oh, Merry Christmas, Shane.
Merry Christmas. Oh, boo.
Long lay the world in sin and error pining.
Dude, you're carrying in this music quotes. I'm trying to pull them out, but it's just like I can't do it while I'm talking. Peace on earth, goodwill to all.
All right, let's close together by singing "Joy to the World."
Joy to the world.
All right, friends, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Shane, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor Dan. Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the new year because we're going to be working with our heads down to bring you a meaningful Christmas that all we're doing is just pointing to Jesus. So,
Behold the Lamb.
behold the Lamb of God who takes away our sin.
Amen.
Amen to that. See you in the new year, folks. Woo!
That's the end of the episode, but we want to continue the conversation. Continue the conversation by sharing this episode, subscribing, or leaving a review. Connect with us on Instagram at 2414podcast. Connect with us through email at 2414@stlukes-church.com. Or best of all, keep the conversation going by inviting someone to process with you, so that you can each walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. If you happen to be in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington, stop by on a Sunday morning and say hi. 2414 is a podcast produced by St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Federal Way, Washington. To find more content, discover upcoming opportunities to connect in person, or to support the show, head on over to stlukes-church.com. Thanks for walking with us.